Team Fluent Artists, we are live. What's happening, everybody? Come in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to get started and have some fun with a pop quiz because the answer to these questions are really going to determine Team Fluent Artists, we are live. What's happening, everybody? Come in. Your ability to sell art. Excuse me. I got my phone set up over here with the comments. And so let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So we're going to get started sharp at 7 o'clock. All right. While we wait, man, I want to go through a little pop quiz, man. I got my pop quiz notes right here. Just a true, false. All right. So first, do you need a lot of followers to sell art online? All right. Do you need a lot of followers to sell art online? True or false? Type true or false in the chat. All right. That answer is false. All right. Actually, being new, being an emerging artist with a low footprint is actually an advantage because you don't have any bad habits to unlearn, okay? And so I want you to be excited about that. Do you need a body of work created before you sell art online? The answer is false, all right? That is false. And then do you need a gallery exposure to sell art to high-income collectors? True or false? All right, that answer is false as well, okay? And then the money question. Do you think you can sell art for higher prices if you are an emerging artist? True or false? All right. That answer is true. Okay. And so if you are excited, if you see these sales on the screen, man, you are in the right place. A lot of these artists were just like you. They were brand new. They watched this presentation, and some of them within days, some within the first week, many within the first month, they started making money. Okay. And so you can see this cash, all of these sales. There's Miss Raquel right there. Tierra sold Angels Among Strangers for $800. Miss Joy selling to her friends, got that cash and wine on the table all the way in Canada. Brittany got a $20 sale right there. All right, Miss Joy got a $4,000 sale right there. Jasmine with another $1,000 sale. Z with a bunch of sales. Jonte, a $72 sale. Florence with a $90 sale. Jasmine with the Chadwick Boseman. Miss Virginia. All right. Christian with a $540 sale. So artists are making money around the clock. Miss Valerie with that sale right there. Angel, Tierra again. All right. And so we could continue scrolling all day, but I want to get into one of my favorite stories, man. This is a fluent artist, Jasmine Tompkins. And if you're sick and tired of being a starving artist in any capacity and you're ready to emerge as an affluent artist, type yes in the chat. All right, type yes in the chat for me, okay? Because if you haven't succeeded in the past, listen, it is not your fault, artists. The art industry does not teach us how to sell on purpose because they want to control who actually makes it in the art industry, all right? And so I already knew the art market really only wanted a chosen few to get through, but I had the difficult experience firsthand with my art market, with my first art event. And so it's really us versus them artists, right? The affluent artists that keep the most of their sales and build direct relationship with collectors versus the art market that tries to control gallery fairs and collector access, all right? And so I know it can be scary trying to figure out how to make it as an artist. And so I'm here to offer support to show you a new way to succeed, all right? So if you think you don't have enough money to get started, you think you don't have enough time, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't know how to get exposure, man, we're going to answer all of those questions for you, all right? And so I want to share Jasmine's story. Like you, man, she is a single mom. She was struggling to sell her art. She was giving it away for free. And read what she said. Let me put this in perspective for you guys. For years, I gave away my art for free. I joined the Fluent Artist January last year. 1 year ago, I was still selling most of my original art for $200. And my biggest sale this time last year was $500 to a hospital. This month, if I make no more money for the next 10 days, I will have total to make $15,800. I am floored. I never thought this was possible for me. I type yes in the chat if you like to make over $15,000 selling art in about 20 days. Type yes in the chat. All right. And so so I want to encourage your dreams. All right. So regardless of any family, friends, or anyone else in your life that told you you can't be successful as a full-time artist, I'm here to give you hope because you can make a living and become a well-known artist. All right. And then here's my guy, Jason Geronik. Man, he just joined recently. And man, he told me that he was down to his last $100 and he joined and he started making sales almost immediately. So you see some of the sales in that screenshot on the left. And he also made his first $1,000 sales to kick the new year off, man. So type yes in the chat if you like to start selling art early in 2026 to kick the new year off. And we're going to talk to you exactly about how you can do this as well, okay? And so my goal is simple. I want to help you become an affluent artist. And so this presentation is designed to help two types of artists. One, if you are an emerging artist, I'm going to help you get more confidence to sell art and raise your prices. If you are an established artist, I'm going to show you how to get more exposure to high income collectors globally. All right. And for both groups of artists, the goal is to help you accomplish your dreams, hit your sales goals, and become well known so you can increase your status and finally leave your 9-to-5 to become a full-time artist. All right. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to become a full-time artist. All right. And so the only way for you to make this transformation so you can consistently sell art online is by being an affluent artist. And the only way that I know to be an affluent artist is to use artwork. And so if I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling art, will you promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future? All right. Type yes in the chat. Okay. And so my name is Sharess. And like many of you, I've been an artist my entire life. All right. That picture in the top left, that's young Sharess. Man, I used to love drawing the cartoons and like the characters on the cereal boxes when I was a kid. And that portrait below is a picture of my son and I drew that for him for his first birthday. And then I also love playing basketball. So I played Division I college basketball up in Chicago State and did a year in Fort Valley. Okay. But during this time, though, like I didn't have any collectors or any sales skills, and my house burned down the day after Christmas, and my family lost everything, and I lost all of my art. And I was really depressed during that time, man. And I ended up dropping out of college. My confidence was low, and it was still really hard to sell art and break into the art industry. So I really became obsessed with mastering business online. And during this time, I ended up, I knew that I needed a mentor. So I wanted to get a multi-millionaire mentor. And so I ended up writing a letter and sent it to 19 multi-millionaires. And Mike was one of the first people that responded, and he hired me. And I ended up helping him make $1.8 million in just 7 days. Okay. So it's $1.8 million in 7 days selling his products online. And with that wisdom, I ended up writing a book about that process, and I became a #1 best-selling business author. So I've had the pleasure to speak all over the world on different stages in different countries, teaching people how to sell their products and services online. I've also helped celebrities like Cynthia Bailey launch her business, and I've helped a lot of creators make money just like you. But even with this success, I still had dreams of being a full-time artist. And then I had an epiphany. I said, you know what? A starving artist only means you do not have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales. What would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to fine art? So I had a crazy plan. I said, I'm going to host my very first art event with a goal to sell out the show. All right. And so we did just that, man. This is me talking to one of the collectors right here. You see, we had an incredible event, man. A bunch of beautiful people in the room. We had a wonderful time, man. People sipping wine. Importantly, folks were buying art. And so at that very first event, we sold a piece for $2,000 at the first show. And this is affluent artist Melissa Mitchell. She was at the event, man. You see all of her beautiful art. She said, Flash Art Investors event by Sharess. All of these pieces sold and have already doubled in value. All right. Now, while we having this art event and we selling art, we having a good time, I realized that we had some very real problems. Okay. First, man, doing it the old way, it cost me over $5,000 up front to put on the event, right? To get the space, I had to get photographers, videographer, DJ, food, wine, everything to kind of create an elegant event where collectors would want to buy art. And I know a lot of artists can't do that. But more important than that, like it really left all of our art sales disorganized because artists were using tools like Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, Square, anything they could to take a payment. And so that left everything hard to track. Plus, the bigger problem there is you can't easily follow up with the collectors that just spent thousands of dollars with you, right? If you use tools like Cash App and Zelle, man, you will get the transaction, but you don't often get the email address, and you definitely don't get the credit card information or the shipping information, right? And so these tools just weren't really working for me. And this is what inspired the affluent artist movement, because I couldn't find a solution. I had to create a new way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell art on and offline. And so, as an affluent artist, I realized that you need one system that accepts payments up to $1 million. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, whether that's in person or online. You want to be able to track your artwork, sales, and your collector's information in one place. Collectors should be able to buy your art with the click of a button, right? Think Amazon one-click ordering. And collectors want to be able to track their net worth in your art so they can see when you're increasing your value as an artist, okay? And then ideally, I wanted it to bring interested collectors to you, right? To me, because I'm an artist as well. But it was really hard and expensive to get this done, all right? And so I wasted over $30,000 and over a year hiring 2 development teams to create artwork. Man, going through that process, I invested every penny to my name, and I really thought about giving up because software is hard, man. You try to get developers to build out an application for you, and they take longer than they say they will, and it costs way more money. But I knew going back to the old way wouldn't work for me because I just did an art event. So I was like, man, you know what? I got to try again. So I found a third dev team, and I gave it one more go. And the new app and automated collector system I created, it started working so well that many artists were selling art within 7 days. And so here's affluent artist Kira. She actually holds the record for the fastest sale, and she sold a piece in 19 hours. All right. And so she's 18. You see what she said in the bottom left. She said, I just graduated high school and not only sold within the first 19 hours after the sales training, but she made over $300 in her first 4 days. Okay. Here's affluent artist Z. He said he had a record-breaking success that past week where he made over, he collected over $1,800. He sold 7 prints and 8 commissions. All right. The full payments, it would be much more than that. And Jen, man, she's one of my favorite stories as well, because she was a single mother. She has 4 kids. And when she joined, she sold a piece in a little over 24 hours. So you see, she said it took a little longer than 24 hours, but she got her first sale. It's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up. And just like you, she was watching this webinar and she parlayed that success to selling art at Art Basel. She got invited to Art Basel. She sold this piece for $5,840. Type yes in the chat if you like to start selling art at Art Basel. All right. You see these dope collectors right there. And then again, she kept taking action, and she got invited to the Sotheby's, the Art Business Institute of Art over in London. All right. Type yes in the chat if you like to learn from Sotheby's and Christie's, who are the 2 of the biggest art businesses in the world right now, on how to sell art. All right, type yes in the chat. And so this is the truth. After creating artwork and helping all kinds of artists transform into affluent artists, I realized we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us, wait on word of mouth to sell art, or already have a big following on social media. The old way of being a starving artist was finally dead. All right. And so this is what I need from you so you can get this transformation. The number one thing is belief. Now, I will give you the solutions to become a full-time affluent artist, but you have to believe you can and put it in action, all right? Because nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinging to the same starving artist problems. And so here's Brescia Jones, man, because when you take action, she set a goal to make $12,000, but she actually exceeded that goal and she made over $13,000 instead, okay? And so type yes in the chat if you want to finally start exceeding your art sales goals. I should see some yeses coming through in the chat. And because of our success, I was actually invited to speak on art investing at BlackRock. And BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager, and they got over $10 trillion in assets under management, all right? And they had me speaking on investing in Black art. And then also, senators in Barbados caught word of what we were doing and how we were transforming artists' lives. So they actually flew me out to the island to help teach their artists how to sell art to collectors around the world. Okay. And so when in 2020, when the pandemic hit, their tourism dried up. And so the galleries weren't getting new collectors to come, and they just weren't really selling any art. All right. And so they used the process that we're going to teach you today to get their art to collectors all over the world, regardless of where you're from, regardless of where you live. You can absolutely do this and start selling art. All right. And so if you struggle selling your art, it's not your fault. Listen, I went to college for art, and I had some incredible teachers that absolutely helped develop my artistic skill set, but it didn't teach us how to sell art and get new collectors. All right. So we're going to show you that today. So if you've been struggling, it's not your fault, because they literally didn't show us how to do this. And so after over 20 years in business and helping artists sell worldwide, type yes in the chat if it's your turn to get your own collectors, skip the high dealer fees, and sell your art online all over the world. All right. Because once you discover these 3 secrets, you will have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art. All right. So let's get into it. So these are the 3 secrets to selling your art online. Secret number 1, how to sell your art for higher prices. And so I discovered this because my friend Melissa, she shared her story at our event. All right. And so you see, Melissa has her art behind her, man. She wears her art as well. And she is very well presented with her art business. Okay. And this is how we were able to sell a piece for over $2,000 at that very first event. And so the collector had no clue who she was. And so I asked him, why did you invest, right? You don't know this artist. You never seen her art before. You don't follow her on social media. Why did you invest over $2,000 in a piece? And he said, Sherez, I think the art is great, but it really was the story that got me, okay? And so if you're posting like this with no sales, right? If you're posting your art on social media, whether you're getting a few likes or a lot of likes and comments, but if you're putting the size, the medium, what you created in, some hashtags and saying stuff like DM me for price, man, when you add your art story, man, it's going to transform the way you can sell your art. And so Jasmine, she said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude. Art story and organic conversation building relationships really work. All right. And here's a fluent artist, Raquel Miller. She said, my first piece sold over $1,000. I type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for over $1,000. Okay. And then here's Brisha Jones. So at the time, this was her highest piece and the largest piece of art that she had ever sold. And she sold this for $6,209. Type yes in the chat if you want to start selling art for over $6,200. And so I want to read a little bit about what this collector said that really inspired them to buy the art. And so she said, my husband and I had a hard week and an already pretty messed up year. I know we're not special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. When my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel. Hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place. Fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness. All right. And I love this story because this is abstract art, right? Some artists struggle with creating stories for abstract art, but you're really only limited by your imagination. And so type yes in the chat if you see how what these collectors were going through resonated with the story for Fearless Expanded, and that made them really want to buy the art at any price. I type yes in the chat if you see how powerful the art story is to help you raise your price and sell for any price. And so I want to give you a little framework to create art stories that's going to help you sell your art for higher prices almost instantly. All right. So make sure you get a pen and pad out and take some notes. So the A equals art star. Who's the art star in your art story? All right. Every story has to have a star to the story. R equals the role. What's the art star's role in your art story? All right. What are they trying to accomplish? What do they want to do in the story? And then T equals twist. What's the emotional twist in your art story? All right. And so if you all watch movies, man, you know movies do an exceptional job of having you on the edge of your seat, excited to see what's going to happen next. Okay. And so you can do that in your art story as well. And so I want to show you how this Vincent van Gogh piece used the power of this art story framework to sell this piece for an astronomical price right here. Okay. And so first, who's the art star? It's Dr. Gachet. That's who the piece is of. All right. This is a portrait of Dr. Gachet. What's his role? Dr. Gachet is Van Gogh's doctor. All right. So that's simple enough. But then a fluent artist, what is the twist? The twist is the doctor may have killed Van Gogh. All right. And so y'all know people love murder mysteries and people be going crazy trying to solve these type of capers. And the result is it sold for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's, okay? So I want to have a little fun in the chat and draw a little friendly line in the sand because I know some artists are here. You're trying to get back in the game. Maybe you're selling your first piece. Maybe you want to sell art for, $100, $1,000, $10,000, whatever your goal is. But if you want to sell art for millions, type 82.5 million in the chat. You can put the money bag emoji, however you feeling, if you want to sell art for millions, because if other artists can do it, I know that we can as well. Okay. And so this is really how you break sales records. And I want to give you a hint. It's not the time or the size. It is the art story. All right. And the art story has to touch your collector's emotions. And so I know a lot of us have been taught to price our art based on how much time it takes us to do it. But if you really think about it, that doesn't make sense, because as an artist, the more time you spend on your craft, the easier and faster you create art. And so it doesn't really make sense to charge less because it takes you less time, right? And then also the size. And so you see like wall art behind me. Some wall art is worth way more than murals on the side of a building. So it's not really about the size either. It's all about the art story. And so now I've shown you how becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself for higher prices. All right. So write down your new price and type it in the chat. All right. Fuzzy goals don't get hit. So we want to make sure that you are clear on what your new price is. And let me know when you're going to write your art story. All right. Type that in the chat, man. Let me know. All right. Write down your price and type in when you're going to create your new art story in the chat. And so artists, this works for you if you are a painter, if you are a sculptor, if you do acrylic pours, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collages, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all prices, okay? And so let's get into secret number 2, all right? Secret number 2, make it one-click easy for collectors to buy your art. And so I got to tell you this quick story because I really couldn't believe this happened, all right? So this piece, it really changed my life buying this piece. So I ended up running into one of my classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his art show here locally in Atlanta. And so I, as an artist, I'm also a collector. I love supporting local artists and just investing into their craft and into their business. And so I went to my friend's art show. He had 3 different spaces, man, a bunch of different art, beautiful, beautiful art event. And I saw this piece and I just really fell in love with it. Okay. I love the colors. I love the texture. I like the earrings. I love the profile. I thought it was really fly. And when I saw him, I saw the piece and I told him that I wanted to buy it. And so I walked up to him and I'm practically like pressing my business credit card in his chest and saying, take my money. And he told me, he said, Sharess, I can't take your money because people usually cash at me. And I couldn't believe he said that because he turned down my money, right? He turned down the cash and I had to buy the art another way. And so type yes in the chat if you've ever experienced anything like this, okay? Because if you have, first and foremost, rule number 1 is to get paid. All right. Everybody put get paid in the chat. You got to get paid. You got to be able to get money. All right. You got to be able to take payments. And if you can't take payments and you're leaving cash on the table, that's absolutely negatively impacting your business. Using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, etc. Man, that's a great way to get paid. But then you don't get the collector's email address. You don't get the shipping address, and you don't get access to the credit card information either. And then also social sales. All right. Put guilty in the chat if you've done something like dropped your photo in your email and said something like email or DM me for price. I know a lot of artists do that. Okay. And then taking orders on paper. Man, if you're still taking orders on paper in 2026, you got to level up your game. All right. So to show collectors that you are professional. And then having low or no website sales. I know a lot of artists are still, they got websites, don't know who's coming, but they know they're not buying, right? And so we created artwork to help solve all of those problems for you, okay? And so this is, I'm so excited to introduce you to this, man, because Tiara, she loaded Angels Among Strangers on the platform. She said, I just uploaded some of my original art on the app a couple of days ago, and about 30 minutes ago, got a notification that one of my pieces sold. Still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. Thank you, Sharess, for perfecting the app. It definitely is a game changer for us as artists. And so I'm going to show you a quick demo of the artwork app so you can see how easy it is to sell your art and access a global marketplace of collectors.
Hey, my name is Sharess May, and I want to give you a quick demo of the artwork app.
So the Artwork app does two very simple things. All right. If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection. All right. And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first, then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price. All right. And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If you say you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number would be in blue at the top. And this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. As you start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business. All right. And then once you go to your artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site, ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to add art. It's very simple. You click add artwork. You just have to fill out these fields right here. And once you click save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click share offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you will see collectors in your dashboard. So you see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on their dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click switch to collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here. And so let's say if you want to buy something, it's very simple. You can click buy now. And if we have your card on file, you can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say you want to select this card. We click confirm order. And it's that simple, all right? It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection. And it'll take you to your collection. You see we just purchased this one right here, all right? So you can see all of your active collection. And as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artist that you're purchasing artwork from, all right? So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick. And let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart, go to the checkout page, and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art, and also for collectors to buy and track the value of their collection as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon. All right. Type yes in the chat if you love artwork. All right. Type yes in the chat. You put your heart eyes emoji. So I want to answer a few FAQs real quick. So first, artists, you set your own price. Okay. You can write your art story and add that to the description so the collector can understand why you created the piece and the story behind it. Collectors can buy multiple pieces at once if they like. Just got to add it to their cart and go purchase at checkout. You can also add the shipping fee to the art price. So that's what we like to do, right? So example, if the piece is $1,000 and the shipping is $100, we will list it at $1,100. Artists ship their art directly to the collectors. Sales deposit in your account in 24 to 48 hours, and artwork gets a small 10% commission. Okay. And here's some sales that have happened on artwork. So Jen sold Grace for $550, Tierra sold Bright Future, and Christina sold Veil of Night. Here, Jen sold Purpose for over $1,000. I type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for over $1,000. And then here's Magdalena. She said, I'm very happy I sold my first piece in artwork. Many thanks to my new collectors. This piece goes directly to Atlanta. All right. And so now I've shown you how artwork saves you time, money, and makes it easy for collectors to buy your art with one click. All right. Type yes in the chat if you're excited to use artwork to get new collectors. All right. Type yes in the chat. So now let's go ahead and jump into secret number 3. All right. Get global exposure to collectors with money. All right. So this Christian, she said, I'm about to cry right now. On my own way of selling, I would have gotten $200 for this piece, and it would have taken me a while to get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. I spent only $7 and sold my piece for $700, and it only took her a few hours to sell. All right. And Christy, she also made over $2,350 in her first 3 weeks. All right. So type yes in the chat if you like to spend only $7 on ads and sell a piece for $700 or more. Okay. And so I love friends and family sales because they add up. All right. And so here's Tierra. She sold the Galactic Jellies to a friend for $2,000. And Mr. Emmanuel, he sold this portrait of a sister at his church for $500. Okay. And so these friends and family sales add up. So make sure you're getting those. But sometimes we want global exposure. Okay. And so after our first wave of affluent artist success, I knew I wanted to help more artists get high income collectors online by leveraging the power of AI and online ads. And because of my experience buying ads on social media, I knew there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors, and that's Instagram. All right. And so always remember, success leaves clues. Forbes, they posted that Sotheby's had a $363.2 million sale, and the art market passed the first major test of the pandemic. Business Insider said Artsy said they saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales in April, and interest from galleries increased by 60%. All right. And so when you log into Instagram and Facebook in the ads manager, at the bottom, at the top left one, you got to choose your location. Okay. So I'm in the US and I want you to start with whatever country that you're in. All right. If you look in the bottom left box, you can see that we chose Sotheby's. All right. So type yes in the chat if it makes sense to you to target Sotheby's and those collectors are spending $363.2 million at a sale. All right. Type yes in the chat if that makes sense for you. If that makes sense for you, all you got to do is click the green create ad button. And that's going to take us to a place called detailed targeting. All right. And then type the word financial in the chat. All right. Type the word financial in the chat. When we type the word financial in the detailed targeting section, this will give us the opportunity to target the wealthiest collectors that like the Sotheby's brand. All right. And so you see the household income top 5%, top 10%, top 10 to 25%, and the top 25 to 50% of the household income earners. Okay. Type yes in the chat if you see how powerful that is. Okay. Let me show you a couple more examples. So you see Art Basel. Art Basel is one of the biggest art fairs in the world. They just did this in December in Miami. If we go to the detailed targeting section, we can target all of those collectors that like the Art Basel brand. And if you really want to get fancy, you can target all the collectors that were actually at Art Basel by tracking their locations, okay? But you see household income, top 5%, top 10, the top 10 to 50% of the household income earners, okay? And let me give you another example. Here's Artsy. We saw Artsy had an online sales increase of 92%. All right. So it makes sense to target collectors that's spending all that money at Artsy. So when we go to the detailed targeting section for Artsy, you see that we could type in the word financial and we could target the highest income earning collectors. All right. Top 5% of income earners, top 10% of income earners, top 10 to 25, and the top 25 to 50% of income earners. All right. And so now we got the keys to success, artists, because these collectors have two very important things that you need to have when you're trying to sell art. The first thing is these collectors have the willingness to buy art. All right. If you got the willingness to buy, I know that you like art, right? If you like Sotheby's, if you like Art Basel, if you like Artsy, I know you got the willingness to buy art because you're actually interested in art. The second thing is these collectors have the ability to buy art. And so this means that you got the money to actually buy the art. All right. And we do this access changes everything. Okay. And so artists, if your mind is blown by being able to target the highest income collectors, put the wow emoji in the chat. You can put the mind blown. Let me know how you feeling in the chat. Okay. You can put the mind blown emoji. And so artists are using this to sell art worldwide. This is Nisha Kapoor, and she's Indian. So she sold her pieces in Indian rupees. She says, Sharess, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads, and we spoke on the phone, and the person is willing to buy. Okay. Here's a fluent artist, Miss Valerie. She sold over $3,250 from her ads. Okay, man. So she's rocking and rolling, and she's a senior. And so no matter how young you are or how old you think you are, you can absolutely do this. All right. Here's Christy. She spent $45 on ads, and she made $1,400 in a day and a half. Type yes in the chat if you like to invest $45 on ads and make over $1,400 in a day and a half. Okay. She said, I got over 800 likes, 200 comments, over 100 shares, and about 300 messages. I got 14 sales and about 10 possibles. Okay. And then here's my guy, Joe. Man, type yes in the chat if you want to wake up to some sleep money. All right. You can put the bed emoji. You can put sleep money in the chat. Joe said this happened last night. So he sold a $2,000 piece from his ads while he was asleep. Okay. And so I've shown you how you can use Instagram ads and AI to target the same high income collectors the biggest art brands in the world use to sell art. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to get exposure to high income collectors online. All right. Type yes in the chat. And so far you discovered how to create your art story to raise your prices, how to track your art sales and artwork, how you can easily share your art via text, email, or social media, how to access a worldwide collector marketplace, how to get collectors to buy your art with one click, how collectors can track what they own from your collection, how you can use Instagram to target collectors worldwide, and how to use financial layering to target high-income collectors. And so I want you to imagine your future best self selling art to collectors worldwide, charging what you're actually worth, and living your dream life as a full-time affluent artist. All right. What are you doing with all that extra money and free time? Type it in the chat. Let me know what you're doing with all that extra money and free time. And so knowing what you know now, do you feel more confident pricing your art? Type yes in the chat. Are you happy you attended this class today? Type yes in the chat if you're enjoying spending this time with me today. Okay. Do you realize the advantage you have as an artist using these techniques? Can you see yourself using this to sell more art? All right, type yes in the chat. And can you see yourself getting new collectors with this? Type yes in the chat if you can see yourself doing this. All right, and so now artists, you got two choices. You can do this on your own, okay? You can take what you learned here and apply it, all right? But if you do this, you might get the same results. Choice number 2, sell with handheld mentorship and a simple process, okay? And so is it okay if I spend a few minutes going over a very special offer to help you accomplish your dreams? All right, type yes in the chat if it's okay if I go over a very special offer. All right, if I spend a few minutes on it, okay? I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. This is a fun and easy 5-step system for visual artists to raise prices, get new collectors, and sell more art online, all right? And so part number 1 is the 5-step Affluent Artist Masterclass. Step number 1 is mindset. Where we cover your millionaire mindset to get rid of the starving artist broke mentality. Step number 2 is price, where we show you how to raise your prices and charge your work. Step number 3 is soul, where we show you how to get cash collectors and start making money quickly. Step number 4 is collectors. This is where we show you how to build a community of collectors that want to buy from you for a lifetime. And then step number 5 is marketing. This is where we show you how to use the Facebook and Instagram ads so you can target those high income collectors. All right. And here's my guy, Christian, sharing his testimony, his experience after he became an affluent artist.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from some phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled, like, to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, and most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program and made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over 4,000. And it's super easy to follow. Like, if you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. And you also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me in the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian. All right. So again, artists, this works for you if you paint, sculpt, do acrylic pouring, you create jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all prices, okay? And so type yes in the chat if you want to get a $4,000 sale like Miss Joy. I mean, I see she painted this mural. Man, I love when they put the cash on the table. And that's one thing that we do in the affluent artist community, man. We actually always show proof of the sales, okay? And so this works even if your art isn't ready. And so Jasmine, she used this information to pre-sale her art before it was actually done, all right? Remember she said, I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude, art story, and organic conversation building relationships really work, all right? And so artists, when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and that's a $5,000 value right there, okay? Part number 2 is artwork. You're going to get a 12-month gold account. I want you to imagine collectors buying your art from anywhere in the world, all right? Jen said, I'm so happy and grateful to have sold this piece. I'm going to supersize my fries tonight. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell a piece like Jen did Emergence and Power for over $2,700 on artwork. All right, type yes in the chat. And so just imagine your new life selling your art anywhere. Man, I love when the little collectors get their art as well. Miss Yvonne sold Spidey Senses for $500 to this collector. And so when you get your artwork account, you'll be able to accept payments up to $1 million. You'll be able to easily sell your art anywhere, whether that's in person or online. You'll be able to track your art, sales, and collector information in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click, like on Amazon, and collectors can track their net worth in your art as well, all right? And also, man, you'll get rid of a lot of stuff and save a lot of money, all right? So you can get rid of your website fees, Etsy fees, or any other marketplaces that you might be paying for. Man, if you don't want to do fairs and shows and have all of the labor, getting trucks and renting vans or whatever it is you're doing to take your art to the shows and breaking it down and bringing it back, or the fees and entry to the shows, you don't have to do that. You still can, but you don't have to. If you're paying for email marketing or customer management software, you can get rid of that as well. And the biggest saving is the lost time figuring it out on your own, okay? And when I first started, right, like I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place or track how much my collectors spent. I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy my art with one click. So I had to create artwork for myself, all right? And so this is going to help you save a lot of time and money because 6 years ago, I had to spend over $60,000 in 3 years to figure out how to create an app to solve this problem. And so I don't want you recreating the wheel. So I'm going to give you an artwork account with this package. So you skip the cost, trial, and error. Cool? All right, that's cool. Type cool in the chat, all right? And so again, Tiara, she said, thank you, Sherez, for perfecting the app. It's a game changer. She said she uploaded her original art on the app, and then within a couple of days, she got a notification that she sold this piece. All right, so the sales are happening quick. So when you join today, artists, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass and your artwork 12-month gold account, and that's a $5,600 value, okay? Then part 3 is the Affluent Artist community, man. We have a community of artists all over the world, different people from different backgrounds, man, from different countries, and it's one of my favorite parts of the experience. Because we got a global network of artists and collectors that love serving and they want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you get access to our private Affluent Artist School community. And this is going to give you the knowledge, community, encouragement, and the motivation you need to succeed in your art career. You can access the program and community anytime from anywhere in the world from your mobile phone or your computer, okay? And you also get unlimited support. So you got 24/7 school group access. Plus, we have a live weekly sales sessions call to make sure you get all of your questions answered and get hands-on sales help, okay? And so, again, one of the things I love about our community is we have young artists. So Sanyu, she started when she was 9. So her mother, Miss Jovan, signed her up. And Sanyu started getting to it at 9, man. And I loved it because she was inspiring all of the other adult artists. And the pictures on the right, this is when I got a chance to meet them when they came to Atlanta right there. And then Miss Phyllis, she joined when she was 73 years old, and she made a sale in her first week. She said, I introduced myself, showed a few images, watched the welcome videos and the collector practice videos, and I sold 2 drawings. Must be the change in mindset. She got to it quick, all right? So, man, whether you're 9, 73, or anywhere in between, or, you know, younger or older, man, this absolutely can work for you, okay? And so I just want you to imagine being a part of a community of artists that want to help you 24/7. And so, man, I love this one because Sean, he posted a powerful lesson. He was like, follow up every time. You never know why somebody ghosts you. I thought it maybe my price was too high for her and she was gone for good. Don't make up your own stories as to why they didn't call back. Just follow up and be polite, okay? And so when you join Today Artists, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork 12-month Gold account, and you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community, and that's a $7,400 value, okay? And then bonus number 1, you're going to get the luxury pricing method. That's a $1,000 value, all right? And so if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art only for buyers to continue lowballing you or not respecting the true value of your art, this is going to help you unlock your prices, all right? So Christy, she was a single mom. She watched this class that you're on right now, and she made $1,350 in the first 5 days. And you know it's serious when somebody says, holy smokes, I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art and landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works. I was thinking of asking $800, was hoping for $600, but I boldly asked $1,000 and she didn't hesitate, all right? And then Jen, you see, she sold this piece, Breakthrough, for over $5,840, and she just put the crying emoji, okay? And so this luxury pricing method absolutely helps you raise your prices. And this is the same strategy that Brescia Jones used to set her sales record at the time. So she sold Fearless Expanded for $6,209. And man, it was transformational for her because it was the biggest and the highest art piece that she had ever sold at the time. And so I want you to imagine your confidence skyrocketing because your art story has collectors emotionally invested into buying your art at any price. And so this becomes your new reality when you become an affluent artist. And so again, when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, the Artwork 12-month Gold account, the Affluent Artist community, and that bonus number 1, that luxury pricing method. And that's an $8,400 value. All right. Bonus number 2, we're going to give you our automated collector system with High Level. And so it's a simple 3-step process that we use. Step number 1 is we use AI to help us create our ads so we can sell on Facebook and Instagram. Those ads bring us collector leads 24/7 automatically. And then those leads turn into new sales to new collectors, okay? And so many artists, they suffer from feast or famine income where you sell art some months and some months you don't sell at all. And so I spent years investing time and money testing which art ads and sales pages work best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7. And so when we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7, this gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand and collector community while sales come in at the same time. And so if you already have a website that's not selling how you like, you can keep it or you can get rid of it and save the money, all right? You can use ours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every day like clockwork. And so here's Chrissy. She invested $45 on ads and she made over $1,400 in a day and a half with this system. Again, over 300 messages from collectors, 14 sales, 10 more leads. Man, it's a profitable opportunity when you join today, all right? And so you're going to get the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork 12-month Gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. And you're going to get these 2 powerful bonuses, that luxury pricing method and an automated collector system. And that's a $9,600 value, all right? And then bonus number 3, we're going to show you how to get high-income collectors with Instagram ads, all right? And when you pay in full, I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to give you a handheld walkthrough to show you exactly how to do this to help you target your ideal high-income collectors. And so many artists struggle to get exposure to collectors that can afford their art at the price you think it's worth. And I spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads of my own money, figuring out the best way to target buyers with money. You get instant access to what's working now with Instagram ads and AI. All right. And then again, I showed you how we use that financial layering to target the big brands and the wealthiest collectors that like big brands like Sotheby's. All right, so we're going to show you exactly how to do this so you can start getting your art in front of the richest collectors. And so again, this is going to get you exposure to collectors with disposable cash. You're going to be able to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style, and you'll be able to predictably get new collectors 24/7 with ads. And so here's Jen, just targeting them high income collectors. It lets you start to really test our prices. And so she got a $4,369 commission. She said, I just threw out a random number and they said, can they pay it in 3? And then here's Jasmine. Man, I was so proud of her because she set a goal to make $5,000 for the month, but she actually made $5,527 in the first week. Man, the system works, especially when you start getting your art in front of them high income collectors. Okay. And here's Isha Nelson here. She sold this custom 5-panel piece for $10,000. All right. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell art for $10,000 or more. Okay. And so you get access to this bonus when you pay in full today. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community, the luxury pricing method, that automated collector system. And when you pay in full, you're going to get access to the high income collectors walkthrough. I'm going to personally show you how to target high income collectors. And that's a $10,600 value. All right. Now, artists, if all this did was help you raise your prices so you break your sales records, would it be worth it? Type yes in the chat if that would be worth it. All right. And if all this did was help you manage your sales and access Artwork's one-click collector, would that be worth it? Right? Would that be worth $10,000? Type yes in the chat. Okay. And if all this did was help you target high-income collectors so you could sell more art, type yes in the chat if you think that would be worth $10,000. Right? Even if you can just sell one piece for $10,000 like Isha, it is absolutely worth it. And so I had two choices. Choice number one, I could let you do this on your own with the wisdom that you learned today. All right. And I have no doubt that you could be successful with that. But choice number two, I'm going to have our team dedicate more time, energy, and resources so we have a responsible role in your success. Okay. And so I want to ask you, what are your dreams worth to you? Okay. So if you had an automated collector system bringing collectors to you, what would it be worth to you? All right. How much would you pay to have one successful system bringing you collectors on autopilot? And so you can see why artists have paid $10,000 for similar results for me, because it's not a cost, it's an investment. And so when you join today, when you go to affluentartist.com today, you won't have to invest anywhere near $10,600. All right. And the normal price is $5,000 to join the program. Okay. But you won't have to invest anywhere near that today. All right. When you go to affluentartist.com, we got a special 93% off for $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com to join today. All right. And if you need help ordering, you can text join to 678-786-2221. And we also have a payment plan that's $100 for 12 months when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. So go to affluentartist.com, sign up. You can enroll today, man, and get started. We're super excited to have you in the program. If you need the affordable payment plan option, you can use that as well. All right. And so, man, a couple of years back, we had our $1 Million Artist Mastermind. And you see Jasmine, she said, I'm at a loss of words here. Artwork Mastermind was beyond anything I imagined. Demetria said one word, epic. Okay. And so now our $1 Million Artist Mastermind is a $25,000 investment to help you get to $1 million in sales. Okay. And so you don't have to invest anywhere near that, because we're going to teach you online with our entire community when you sign up at affluentartist.com. So it's an absolute steal compared to the true investment. All right. And also the automated collector system, just that one bonus alone is more valuable than the investment that you have to pay today. All right. So that's a $1,600 a month value, because it's going to help you get rid of a lot of tools and save a lot of money when you go to affluentartist.com today. All right. And so artists, now you got two choices. Okay. So again, you can do this on your own. Now, if you do this, you may get the same results. Okay. But then choice number two, you get handheld mentorship and guaranteed sales results from our team when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And also, you're protected by a 110% money back guarantee. When you sign up now, if Affluent Artist does not help you sell more art and get more collectors, you have two options. Option number one, you follow these steps and win 110% of your money back. Okay. You say, Sharess, man, I tried it, gave it a go. It's not working for me, man, we give you 110% of your money back. Option number 2, you decide to stay in the Affluent Artist community, and we will personally help you achieve your art sales goals when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And so why do we do this? We do it for a selfish reason. And it's because I know it's a win-win. This makes it a no-brainer for you to join. And I know we can help you succeed. And so when you sign up, I know for a fact one of these 2 things will happen. You will sell more art and get new collectors, or you will win $1,100 from us just for trying it out. Obviously, if you take the payment plan, it'll be $110. Okay. And so there are a few qualifications to get the 110% money back guarantee. First, you got to earn 100% completion by watching the Affluent Artist Masterclass. Second, take action on the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You got to actually do the work. Attend the live sales sessions every week so we can answer your questions. And then sell art, like use the wisdom to sell art and make money. And then share your results on social media about how we've impacted your art and your career. Okay. So sign up when you go to affluentartist.com. And this makes your profit guaranteed because you'll either follow the steps, sell art, and win your money back, or you will stay in the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and we will continue helping you achieve your revenue goals. All right. And so the real question is, is it worth taking a few minutes to check this out? Because even if it does half of what I say today, it will pay for itself as soon as you sell one painting for $1,000. All right. So you're really just one collector away from transforming your entire art career when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to their Artwork 12-month gold account. You get access to the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get some powerful bonuses as well. You're going to get that luxury pricing method, that automated collector system, and the high income collectors. And that's a $10,600 value. All right. And also, we got a fast action bonus for the artists that sign up tonight. For the first 10 artists that sign up live, we're going to give you access to that sold out art challenge. All right. And this sold out art challenge, this is what many artists are using to sell art in the first 7 days. You're also going to get live handheld coaching. We also got a secret strategy to help you get your 100 dream collectors and so much more. All right. So remember, you're just one collector away from really transforming your art career and your entire life when you sign up at affluentartist.com. All right. So artists, get started now. Go to affluentartist.com and sign up. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 678-786-2221. When you join today, man, you're going to get some powerful information and bonuses, man. So you're going to get the access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get the luxury pricing method, automated collector system. And when you pay in full, you're going to get access to that high income collectors walkthrough. We're going to show you personally how to target your high income collectors. All right. And for the first 10 artists, you're going to get that sold out art challenge for the first 10 artists only. And that's a total value of $11,600. You can join today for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And if you need a payment plan, we got a $100 a month payment plan for 12 months when you sign up at affluentartist.com today. Okay. And so now at this point, I see a lot of you have signed up, and that really makes me happy. Okay. But some of you are still here though, and I can tell you're getting ready to sign up, but you have a question you need answered before making that decision. So let's address those questions in the time that we have left. So what if I already have a website? So if you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all of your collectors to Artwork and use our automated collector system so you can eliminate hosting costs and monthly fees. Do collectors need an Artwork account? So collectors can buy as guests, but we encourage them to get an Artwork account so they can track their art collection. How do I afford the investment? And so I posted this. You can afford the investment by using the information that you learned in this webinar today, just like Jasmine here. And so she used the art story framework to pre-sell prints before her actual original was done. So she said, gratitude, art story and organic conversation building relationships really work. All right. And so you can start selling art, pre-selling art to get the money to make the investment to become an affluent artist. Okay. How do I make the time? That's a great question. A lot of artists want to know how they make the time. And so first, you got to find a time regardless of your situation, just like Brescia Jones here. So she's a single mom, 2 kids, and she made the time to sell this piece for $2,500. Okay. And so one of the things that we do is create what's called a morning success block, where we wake up earlier than everybody else in the house and you get to work on your vision and your goals, and you give the most refreshed version of yourself to your future. Okay, so that's one of the ways that we make the time. Some artists ask, can I do this from anywhere in the world? Absolutely. I mean, as long as you got a phone and the internet or a computer and a Wi-Fi, you are good to go. So Miss Joy is in Canada. I'm in the United States, and I love to see that Canadian cash on the table. We selling that art. All right. So you can absolutely do this from anywhere in the world. Remember, I was flown out to Barbados to help those artists sell their art as well. Some artists ask, what if I'm just getting started? Listen, it's a great question. I think being a new emerging artist is actually an advantage, again, because you don't have any bad habits to unlearn and you can just get the wisdom and apply it, right? And one of my favorite stories that really illustrates this is Tierra. After she started selling art and making money, she actually started teaching her kids how to do this, okay? And so her kids were aged 2, 5, and 7 years old, and they set a goal to make $250. But with the support of their families and friends, they made $500, okay? And so if a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old can make money selling art, you can absolutely do this if you're just getting started when you join affluentartist.com today, okay? And so some artists ask, is the process too hard or technical? Listen, absolutely not. In addition to us holding your hand step by step to make sure that you get it done, Miss Valerie, she was 68 and she sold over $10,000 in the first 4 months after she became an affluent artist, okay? And so you got to really either get the resources or be resourceful, okay? And so before Miss Stacy joined, she was struggling to sell her art as well. And she was in a financial bind, but she got the resources and she said, yes, it works. I made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paintings when they are done. I called her and told them they are done. She could buy one for $250 or 3 for $6. She took all 3, all right? So go to affluentartist.com and get access to our community today. Some artists ask, is there too much competition? Listen, man, there's no such thing as too much competition when it comes to art. And so in addition to being an artist, I'm also a collector. And I bought all types of art from so many different artists, or from so many different artists around the country. And so collectors, they love buying art from different artists, all right? And so you could join today and get in the flow of this cash when you go to affluentartist.com. What is the artwork commission? So it's only 10%. And most importantly, you get to keep all your collectors' data so you can follow up and make more sales. I know galleries and dealers usually take 30 to 60% of the sale, and they generally don't like to give you the collector's information because they want to stay the middleman and get their cut, all right? We give you access to all of your collector's information so you can continue following up and making more money. What budget do I need for ads? So you literally can get started for as little as $5 a day. All right? It's really inexpensive to get started. Just the more that you're able to spend as you make more sales, you'll get more collectors coming to you and making more money, okay? And so artists, being a full-time artist beats working a 9-to-5, man. You know, getting paid from your God-given talent and artistic gifts, man, it'll really change your life, man. And you start to experience more joy. And so Mia, she sold this piece for $2,000 to a collector for a 2-year-old's bedroom. And I absolutely love these hearts on this string right here. So you can get access to this, how artists are becoming full-time affluent artists at affluentartist.com. And it's really that community support that creates the success habit. When you're surrounded by people that are selling art, raising their prices, taking action, making money, man, it's going to have a positive influence on you and it make you really want to get after it and get going, okay? So you can join our Affluent Artist community when you go to affluentartist.com. And so if you're here and you searched online on the internet, on YouTube, if you read books, if you following different people on Instagram trying to sell art, man, you know information alone is not enough. You need a plan, you need a community, you need structure, and you need access to high income collectors. And so if you want to get booked and busy like Toya, go to affluentartist.com and sign up today. All right. And so you got to ask yourself, do you want money or excuses? All right, artists, because we cannot have both. You got to choose one. If you want money, go to affluentartist.com, sign up, and you can start selling art for $2,000 or more like John Taylor. He sold this lamb, okay? Beautiful, beautiful lamb piece. But if you want excuses, man, if you choose to stay stuck, you got to ask yourself, what's going to transform your 2026? All right, do you want to spend the rest of this year staying in the same spot? If not, let's get this money when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And then artists, I want you to really calculate the true cost of inaction, because you got to ask yourself, you know, what if this helped you start selling just one piece per week? Like, would that be worth it? Like, whatever your price is, whether you're selling art for $1,000, a few $100s, $10,000, if you just sold one per week, would that be worth it? Absolutely. Okay. And then what's the lost opportunity cost? Are the future missed sales really worth continuing to struggle to sell your art because you're trying to figure this out on your own? All right. It's January 2026. It's the top of a new year. Man, what are you going to do this month if you want to sell art? If you join us, you can start selling art this month. Okay. Many artists start selling in the first 7 days. And so if you miss out on January revenue, man, you got to account that as a loss, right? And then if you roll into February and you still don't have a plan to consistently get new collectors, you miss out on February, you miss out on March, man, you're actually losing revenue by staying complacent and staying in the same spot. And if you just follow one of the steps I shared on today's webinar, you can make a profit in the first week when you become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com. All right. And then also, man, family and friends, they are a great opportunity to get them as investors. Okay. If you got a clear plan of what you want to do to sell your art, and you tell them that you're joining the community, we got a step-by-step structure. You got mentorship and hand-holding, man, people will be more willing to invest into you if they know that you got a plan, okay? And so Miss Valerie, she said, I wanted to share, I finished this today, posted it 3 hours ago, and she already sold it within 3 hours, okay? Sheris, she made a sale, $450 in her first week in the program, okay? And so again, if you need family and friends to invest into you, tell them you got a plan, and they're going to help you really transform your career in 2026. Okay. Also, some artists get PayPal to invest into them. All right. And so PayPal credit is a great option. If you go to paypal.com/credit, you can apply for a credit line from PayPal, and they have no payments and no interest if you pay it in full in 6 months. Okay. So you got to use the pay in full option here, but PayPal can give you a credit line. You can go through the Affluent Artist program, start selling art, and pay PayPal back. All right. And so, artists, the time is now. All right. Go to affluentartist.com, sign up today. I'm excited to see you on the inside. And so, here's Raquel. She said, after connecting with Sheres and noting and actively implementing the wisdom that I learned without negotiation or hesitation, this collector purchased this piece in my $1,200 asking price. I am beyond grateful for the knowledge and the quick turnaround. All right. And so if you're ready to start charging what you're worth, getting collectors to buy your art without hesitating, go to affluentartist.com and join our community now. All right. And so I'm excited, man. Let's accomplish your dreams together. Because I know as a fellow artist, the struggle with selling art is real. But when it's gone from your life, just imagine, like, how will you feel? How much better will your life be? Like, how much stress does working a job and never having enough money causing your mind and body right now? Because after you join, literally, poof, it's gone. I want to know, can you feel that difference? All right. Because it really starts by going to the link below and joining now. All right. And so I'm going to walk through the checkout process with you here in a second. So let's get started. Go to affluentartist.com right now. Let me come out and show you how to get started. All right. So we go affluentartist.com. Boom. When you get here, you're going to see the checkout timer. All right. So you do have some time to get those bonuses. Make sure you join before the clock expires, okay? When you sign up, it's going to recap the offer. We're going to talk about the win your money back guarantee, and it's really easy and simple to buy your art, all right? So if you come here, put your information in, your name, your email, your phone number, your address, and you can choose the full pay option or the payment plan option, and then just input your 16-digit card number, your expiration date, the CVC code, your country, your zip code. Click the Join Now button to sign up today. All right. It's really easy and simple for you to check out. All right. And again, you got a little more time before you can get these fast action bonuses. So make sure that you check out before they expire. All right. So Affluent Artists, get started now. I'm excited to see you inside the program. Go to affluentartist.com to sign up. Man, I'm doing one last recap. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to their artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses when you join today, all right? Bonus number 1, you're going to get access to the luxury pricing method. Bonus number 2, you're going to get that automated collector system. And when you pay in full, I'm going to personally walk you through how to get high-income collectors, man, that are spending millions of dollars of art with brands like Sotheby's, Art Basel, Artsel, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, okay? And then for the first 10 artists that join, you're going to get that sold-out art challenge the artists are using to sell are in their first week. All right. And that's a total value of $11,600, but you don't have to invest anywhere near that today. We have a special 93% off for $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com and join our community today. All right. If you need an affordable payment plan option, we have a payment plan for $100 a month for 12 months. And if you need help ordering, text JOIN to 678-786-2221. All right. So again, Affluent Artists, man, I'm excited for everybody that's signing up. Make sure you sign up and join before the expiration. The cart closes Friday at 11:59 p.m. All right, for this special offer. So make sure you join before before the clock expires, and I'll see you on the inside. All right, man. Peace. Happy 2026, everybody. Let's get this money, man. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you soon.